what we just did, and I'll say it again a couple of times just so members know they can kind of be prepared for it. We went pre-flight. We pre-flighted again. This time a little different. I brought them in the kitchen. I was getting some steaks ready for after the live. We're going to cook them babies up. A couple good football games today, so we're going to celebrate. And I'm trying to find different ways to cook some red meat. I want to start eating more red meat in my diet. We typically have chicken when we barbecue. It's burgers and dogs and a tri-tip. Nothing beats a good tri-tip. Costco, we have found, has been our favorite. It's delicious. It's amazing. So that was a pre-flight today. Pre-flighting is for members. If you put your notifications on, even when you do, sometimes you still don't get notified. Not sure how that works. I don't know if it's. I have mine on for a different channel, but I never get notifications. Never know when it's happening. So you never know. All right. Jake, Adam East, Doc Holiday. What's up, everybody? All hands. All three hands. You got three hands? Were you guys in? Is that one? Yeah. It's a trick. Let me tell you how we did it. All right. Good evening, everyone. It is Sunday. We are SFMF Live. Again, members, we just had a little pre-flight. So members, just FYI, FSA, FSA, for situational awareness. That's what FYSA, for your situational awareness. That's what we do. Pre-flight right before the main show. So good evening, everyone. Kimi Cocoa Puffs is here. You may have saw her hand a minute ago. John McJunkin is here. Good Sunday evening, Sergeant Major, Madam Producer, Sergeant Cece, Midshipman Cece, Kimi Cocoa Puffs, Cece family, and the SFMF family. Good evening, John McJunkin and crew. J-Dub, Ra, David Bryant. Where's K9 Cece? Good one. She better show up here soon. She should be here soon. What a roll call. Good to see everyone. It is Sunday. Great service this morning at church. And I think I told you on Wednesday or last week, helping with parking. And you'd think every church we've been to, you always see guys outside directing traffic. Really, it's not a concert. How hard could it be? But I tell you, these two services, and they're extra big today. I think it's because of current events personally. But it gets a little crazy. Not that they're going to run you over and they're going to crash into each other, but they just may crash into each other. So especially the design of the church, and this church has a lot of overflow parking. So just point them in the right direction. But that's how we started the morning today. It was very cool. All right. Marie Lugue, Phil Cohen, we love everybody here. Adam J. Poker Center, good evening. What is the subject? Okay, so topics for today, church, roll call. We're going to talk about common sense. Again, I think this is a good time in our society right now to talk about a little bit of common sense. Common sense is not common. You heard that phrase, I'm sure, many times, and it's just not. Courage, one of the Marine Corps leadership traits, and I'm sure you look up leadership traits anywhere, it'll pop up. Physical and mental, though, not just the physical courage like you always think about. And then sports in the military. Did a short on that. Can you play sports while you're still in the military? Can you play your favorite sport that you did in high school and you're the best, but you chose to serve your country? What about the sport you had passion for? Can you still play it? And I don't remember who it was, but it was telling me about all these Marines, all these professional athletes that did time in the Marine Corps. While that's awesome, what I was referring to was, can you play while you're on active duty? And how high can you go? Because I told a story about it. We knew a Marine I played football with on the All-Marine team that went on to play in the NFL. So that does happen, but I'm talking specifically while you're active duty. What can you do? What sports can you play? And how high can you go? And then making a military rack. Got some good comments on that one too. So again, welcome everybody. SFMF Live. Sunday night. You're here. Hit the like button. You heard Kimmy Cocoa Puffs, Kelly Tover, Good Mood. Yes, always. Maybe you mean good morning. Where are you watching from? How many? That's Andrew Sanchez. You must be young because that's just a question you don't ask people, especially the first question as soon as you meet a military member. And even if you ever do, is probably better until you get to know somebody real well. Fireside chat, definitely. Charlie Kirk, RIP from Omerta. Ivan, same. We feel the same here. Where's Carl? Carl Green, present and accounted for. Good to see you, bud. Kimmy Cocoa Puffs, can you come back? This is not scrolling up or down for me. Greetings, Sergeant. Greetings to you. Carl, how you been, buddy? Thank you for your service. Omerta, thank you. Again, then that's probably the second question, Andrew Sanchez, that you don't ask somebody the first time you're meeting them, and wait till you get to know somebody a little bit and see if they're comfortable with it.
It's going.
No, I want to, because.
That's as low as it goes.
Oh. You sure I can't bring it down?
You're keeping me from my trolls.
How'd you do that? I want to do it here like I did last time.
Because there's no other chat to go lower.
No, I want to go up.
Then hit the.
Look at Sophia Baldy. That's me. Can you tell me? Is it worth to join the Marines? Seriously, though, yes, 1,000%. Serve your country. If you're ready for it, you got what it takes. You're willing to join the toughest. Then yes, absolutely. Doc Holly, when a Marine struggles mentally, how can sports or physical competition help rebuild their confidence? Man, what a great way to rebuild any kind of confidence on a sports team. Okay, thank you. Got it.
Well, it might just be
Oh.
fighting against you because people are commenting.
Oh, yeah. And if it doesn't work, that's okay. Doc, great point. And you said, how does it help? I think, first of all, to let everyone know, I think it probably does help. I'll tell you, football is the sport I played while on active duty, and it definitely was a stress reliever, right, to put on some pads and hit some other people. But just play a team sport like that, completely different. You take your job out of it, and here's how much you take your job out of it. There's no rank on the football field, right? And that felt pretty good, I know, as a young Marine, and then later as a senior Marine, still playing Marine Corps football. I was way past my prime, but I just loved the game so much. And it was good for all those reasons. A little stress reliever, team unity, meeting Marines from all over, traveling and playing. It was good. We're going to talk about that here shortly. Thank you, Tolman. And if you serve, thank you for your service. And anyone on here who has, thank you for your service. Your support. Love the support. And that's the producer kind of clued me in. What a great, when people say thank you for your service, they usually say thank you and try to figure out if they served or not. Now I just ask, but man, what a great reply is, appreciate your support. How great is that? Larry Jacobs says, best thing to help me grow up. You're talking about sports, playing sports while you're on active duty. Awesome. Which PT test smoked you the most? Like of the thousands that I took, like one in particular, PFT or CFT, they're all good. And it depends on how in shape you are, right? How prepared you, it's on you. Did you prepare yourself for it? McGrath, did you swallow the crayons? No, I chew them up. Love some good crayons. Good balance, strong work and work hard. Kelly Dover, absolutely. Randy Sisk, Semper Fi, brother, Semper Fi to you. I was in Iraq with your twin. I was his sergeant. Will Fry, is that what you're talking about? My husband, that's Nabi. My husband was in the USMC Vietnam time. Thank you for his service and welcome home. His favorite sport was martial arts. What's going on over here? Sports for life. sports something, hang out for a little bit, check it out, because we're going to talk about sports in the military here shortly. So glad you're here. Check it out. Like and subscribe. Everyone, hit the like button right now. That obviously helps you hear what other people say. It helps with everything. Just got here, but how are your thoughts on Charlie Kirk? We're going to discuss that a little bit here once we kick it off, but we're very, very saddened, like the rest of the world. A couple trolls out there being idiots, but prayers for his family, his wife, and his 2 small kids, entire family. With me scrolling? Oh, then I won't. Yeah, I'll just, if I miss it, I miss it. What's the best MRE? PV223. I like them all. There's really not too many I don't like. Maybe the veggie omelet, or there's some probably weird ones. There's probably some new ones I don't like, but my all-time favorite, and this is before some of your time, omelet with ham. Love the omelet with ham. And my second favorite was chicken a la king. 2 good ones. And I'm going to do a video on how we started preparing them in Desert Storm. After eating MREs, nothing but MREs for about 2, 3, 4 months with no hot chow, no farmed in chow. We were way out in front of everybody beyond the chow halls and the base camps and the 4 meals a day and mid-rats that the Air Force was enjoying. We had nothing but MREs for a long time. So we got very, very creative with MREs. I'm going to do a video on that here shortly. Not tonight, but soon. Mackie Broken Arrow, Sea Breeze Aftershave. MCRD San Diego. Love it. Big John, I'm from Africa. Thanks for being here, brother. Like and subscribe and check it out. We're gonna do some cool stuff here tonight. Still doing a little roll call, just waiting for everybody to join us. I've been trying to join the Navy, says nobody. 4 times. I haven't passed the test, but I will try everything I can do. I'm 35 years old. Get after it. You're going to need a waiver for that age, and consider the Marine Corps. If you're physically fit, consider the Marine Corps. And that's what you got to do. You got to first, to enlist at that age, it's a waiver because the max age is 28. I believe for the Navy, I know it is for the Marine, it's probably pretty close. So you have to be extra physically fit, mentally tough. Frank Hernandez, I still remember you as an instructor in Okinawa, 1999, running us for PT. I enjoyed the PT back then. Frank Hernandez, good to see you, brother. Hope all is well with you. Thanks for being here. And I'm telling you, I'm a bigger guy, but I absolutely love to run. I do. Good to see you. Le Hell Jumper. Love your videos. Love what you do. Thank you. Appreciate that very, very much. This is for our community. We all love it. Again, nothing but pure joy. This is God. This is all God working through me. So this is great. Thanks again for serving. Jonathan Jackson, thank you. Appreciate your support. And if you serve, thank you for your service. Look, from the producer, Le Hell Jumper. Appreciate your kind words. What is your camera, bro? That's from GH Coot. It's my phone. How's it look? Oh. Doc Holiday, look at you. So I made you no rest. I know the tri-tips got to pass more inspections than we do before it hits the plate. I'm good. I prepped it right now. I'm going to give it a little more TLC in a little bit before I put it on the grill. You know that. Appreciate you, Doc. Always, 100%. Awesome. Thank you. Look at JP. Gig 'em. Anybody catch that Aggies game yesterday? We might talk about that a little bit, but man, what a game. What an ending to that game. Awesome. They beat Notre Dame. Just FYI. FYSA for your situational awareness. Sarah Bush. Specialist Smith. Tell him Sergeant Utley said what's up and good times. All right. Those two, Specialist and Sergeant. Specialist, so that's the Army. Hua to you both. Thank you. Oh my God, your phone's amazing. Oh, so he's being serious. Hello, I'm about to become an engineer, so wish me luck. Engineers up. Great MOS. Pay attention. Some math, right? In today's technology, I'm sure you can punch everything in the system and it'll be just fine, but good on you. Great MOS. John McJunkin, Sergeant Major, regarding you making fun of my personal maid and butler. They have always done a great job with my rack, even during boot camp. That was frowned upon by the drill instructors. I would have loved to. I would have thrashed your maid and your butler in boot camp right alongside of you. What's the wildest thing you saw on a hump? That's pretty funny. A great question because, I'm sorry. Khaled? Khaled. I'm leaving you. Keep ignoring me. Did Andrea have a question? Don't leave. Don't leave me now. Andrea, who can see Andrea's question? Steven says, aye, sir. Andrea, bye. Bye, Felicia. Hang out, Andrea. Ask again. I haven't seen it. No, nobody ignores anyone here. There's just a lot of comments.
You want me to read it? What's yours?
Michael Jones is here. Yes. Dylan McDaniel. Bobby Chacon. Dylan McDaniel. Yes. What did she say?
She deleted it.
Oh,
Said,
yeah.
you say the Navy is better to join then?
Better than what? Better than the Marines? Daryl, EAS 1978, re-enlisted after 37 months, went 2-9 weapons company, lost my corporal, came back in as a PFC, loved the Fleet Marine Force. Awesome. Daryl, thanks for sharing that with us. That's why people get out, right? Usually after it was big during the 20-year war with Iraq and Afghanistan, people were tired of it. They got out, but they wanted to come back in. It's not always easy. Look, you lost rank, came back in. You lost 2 ranks. Came back in, but loved every minute of it. So good on you. I'm glad it worked out. Keg Dog, opinion on that's not reparations, right? That's maybe you spelled it wrong. 03, repatriation. I got other things on my mind. Dina Davis, thank you for your service. Appreciate your support. And if you served, thank you for your service as well. 0372 in the house. What is 0372? Is that new? Is that Marine Raiders? Somewhere in the Raider community? Big Mike got me in a chokehold. Sorry. That's funny. Heavy J, we're at Lima Charlie. Apologize. Working on a door panel on my truck. Get after it, Heavy J. We know you're there. Appreciate you. All right. I'm gonna hit this question from Steven. That's a good question, and then we're gonna kick it. Steven says, "Do you have any free time when deployed in? How do you enjoy your free time in the FOB? FOB, for everyone. Forward operating base. There's COB, company operating base. FOBs, COBs." POBs, platoon operating base, different acronyms for all, but it's your forward operating base, and that's usually a company size. So what do you do on your free time? Depends on the workload of your unit. If you're infantry, on your free time, you're sleeping first. You're washing your nasty butt is the best you can. You're not going to have showers. So infantry, again, you're doing that canteen shower out somewhere, and if it's freezing cold, then it's tougher. You have some sort of shower facility, clean up, and then rest. You're going to get some sleep, clean weapons, change your magazines, your take the ammo out. Just let your magazines rest. There's combat ready first. Make sure you're always combat prepared, and then when you can, you're going to get some rest. Free time, I'm sure today's technology, they're playing games, they're on their phones, they're emailing, stuff like that. Back in the day before all that, playing cards with the boys. You're getting that camaraderie built up. You're talking about the last patrol you just went on, and the next one you're getting ready to go on. You're readjusting your kit, making sure things. Yeah, I mean it's there is no just straight up free time. Do you have time for all that stuff? You got to build it in. And then of course we're Marines. So what do you think we do on our free time? PT. You know, we're always going to get some PT whenever we can. And depending on where you are and what kind of gear and equipment you have, which pretty much most of the time it's nothing. So you're making weights out of concrete. The local guys are going to have make you some dumbbells and barbells. You're using concertina wire, truck parts, tank parts, anything heavy, sandbags. You're filling up water jugs, whatever you can to make a Fred Flintstone gym so you can get some PT going on. Good times. All right. Again, welcome everybody. It is SFMF Live Sunday night. Started the day with a little PT in the morning, of course, and then church. church, today we are still on a series, No Filter Faith. Last book of James. I think I thought we finished it up last week, but they continued on today. James 5, dark moments and ready for prayers. Pray. Prayer works. And there's something even by our house, a billboard. I love it. It says, don't forget to pray. What does that sign say? That with the American flag? Prayer. I just sent that out to y'all. All right, if you can look that up. And it works. And especially in a time, and this is how the pastor started today. Prayer works. And some prayer changes things. Prayer works. Just don't forget about prayer, not just in the dark times, but in the good times. Okay, and your prayer could be more praise to our Lord and Savior, to tell him thank you, right? Because we're quick to pray when we need him, right? Combat patrols, I kick myself now. I'm guilty of it. God, please get us out of this firefight. God, please be with us. Please help us. Please make sure he makes it back alive. God, please, God, please, God, please. And when I would get back and start doing all those free time stuff, cleaning, showering, changing ammo, whatever, forget to thank God. So pray when times are tough. Pray when times are good. Just don't forget about that. And that's a lot of things the pastor hit today. And it was, again, recent events in this very short week. A lot of prayer needs to go out. And then where heaven touches earth, again, that relationship you have. Menachem right here. Good to see you, Menachem. Just want to say, hey, may God bless you, David, and grant you health and happiness for many long years. Ephesians chapter, I'm telling you, it's R.I.P. Charlie Kirk, and that's what prompted today's service. It happened on the 10th, and today is a couple of days later. So I think, luckily, everyone in the service this morning, doesn't matter your political beliefs. It has nothing to do with any of that, but it's the death of an individual, a father, a son, a husband, a great, solid, very intelligent American getting the word out. And you can see that because all over the world, not just the United States, the world is celebrating and praying. So it was good to see zero politics in the pastor's service this morning, but recognizing the power of prayer and the need for prayer openly. All right. Old Jyrene is here. Howdy, y'all. Let me grab a cigar. All right. Look at Frank Strict, R.E.P. Charlie from Germany. Menachem. If you, again, however much you want to share, brother, how's grandpa? Let us know, please. Prayers are still always up for him. Hope all is well. Doc Holliday says, when you look back at your journey, where do you feel you've seen the Lord's hand guiding you most, and how has that shaped, dang it, what was the last part of shaped the Marine I am today? So I tell you, Doc, and again, appreciate that question, because a regret I have is I didn't know Jesus sooner. I was, again, that guy in the fighting hole saying, God, please help me. But I didn't have a relationship with him. I knew who he was, and I would listen to the chaplain. Told you in boot camp, I didn't go to church because I was the guy and I had to work on drill. Really? Drill was more important than God, my relationship with God, but I didn't know. Right? And that's what my drill instructors told me. You can go ahead, go to church for 4 hours on Sunday, but you ain't going to be no guide in this company. So again, making the easy flesh decision and stayed there and worked on drill. So how do I think it has changed me as a person and a Marine? 1,000% better. And it wasn't until recently, and this is deployment after deployment after deployment, and I didn't find Jesus until I was in the darkest place in my life ever. When I finally realized, I didn't realize, that was the producer pushing me, that was friends, right? Because you think you can handle all that stuff on your own in the darkest place in your life, and you want to, especially being a Marine, any service member, ego gets in the way. I'm tough, I can handle this. Then you start the self-medication, just nothing but bad happens. And then I met Jesus, got water baptized, and now I devoted my life to Jesus. So how do I think it's changed me personally and professionally? Again, 1,000% for the better. The regret is that I wish I would have known Jesus sooner. So thanks for asking that. NBA man, did you ever serve in the Marines? Yes. Once a Marine, always a Marine. Were you in the movies, Mario, Moko? Not yet. I'm waiting for a phone call from somebody. Yeah, some of these are going too quick. If you guys see one that you would like me to read, please let me know. BW says, I made a mistake of saying, used to be Catholic once while deployed. You never know what a Navy priest had that much growl. So the chaplains, the Navy chaplains that are assigned to Marine units, they have the religion, but when they preach, it's supposed to be non-denomination. You're not supposed to really know what the pastor is or the chaplain is. You may, and if you have a relationship with them. As a first sergeant, sergeant major, I always knew what our chaplain was, but because he's praying for everybody. And I've had some awesome chaplains growing up in the Marine Corps. DC Long, good to see you as well. Brother, thanks for being here again. John McJunkin, tonight's topic number 1, yes, sir, common sense. Common sense is not common so much anymore. We're going to hit that in a few minutes. McJunkin, get your crew ready. I'm going to give you my thoughts on it and what I've seen recently in today's society, throughout the Marine Corps, today's society, and in the civilian community. Interesting. Mark Polanski, what do you think about a civilian being transported on Air Force 2 with military escort when we don't do that for our KIA brothers and sisters? I didn't like that. When you compare it to our KIA brothers and sisters, absolutely. I think every one of them deserves Air Force 2 or better. They deserve much better than that. Is that reasonable? Not reasonable. Is it logistically possible? So that would be, I think, the only reason we probably could not. What I think about that particular civilian, I think that just goes to show the impact he made on the world, not just the United States. So I feel you on the veterans, and I think there's tons of things that need to be better for veterans. But I think we're slowly moving into the right direction.
Yeah, well, what about politicians? When politicians pass and they look at the flag?
Politicians get the half-mast. Why aren't service members?
Because the flag is still.
Again, logistically, that's what the producer's talking about. So, and Charlie Kirk got the half-mast on the American flag. Again, shows you the weight he held in America. Why isn't the flag flown at half-staff for every time a veteran passes? Again, logistically, we'd never raise it up to full staff, I think is why. All right. Khalid, what are you talking about? You're struggling with this? What's the trick? Nod and say aye everything, or speak up and risk getting crushed. Khalid, great point or question, because that's what we're going to talk about also today. Our second topic is courage. So awesome. And that was also what they coincidentally talked about in church today. So bring that up here in a little bit, Khalid. Appreciate that. Okay, old Jyrene is ready. Got his stogie, liquid death, and we're talking Jesus. I'm ready to go. Amen, old Jyrene. And liquid death, are you talking about the water, liquid death? All right, hydrate. You got to hydrate, old Jyrene. Lots of horse crap going on by the commentator. Hang out for a little bit, buddy, and you'll see where we come from. Yo, bro, shout out from London, says Harry White. Good to see you, Harry. Appreciate you. Fair point. I appreciate you answering honestly, and I see your point. Thank Mark Polanski. That means a lot. I'm telling you, we're completely transparent here, and no secrets. Right? We're talking about courage here in a minute. We don't get politically, and we're not picking sides and doing anything crazy like that. We're just speaking life into each other. So I appreciate that. Jay Dilly, good to see you. I love God. I love my country. 1, 2, 3, 4. I love the Marine Corps. How the Vikings do today. Sports highlights. Hey, everyone. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday to you, Daniel Barry, Sports Highlights. All right, Randall Knapp. What's up, Randy? Good to see you, buddy. All right, Menachem, update on Menachem, and then I promise I'm going to get into today's first topic of common sense. Grandpa had a track procedure a few days ago. He's quite uncomfortable with it and needs to learn how to eat and speak with it. That's in his throat or in his mouth? Yeah, trach. I said track, trach. Prayers up, brother. Prayers to him. If I don't know if he knows us, knows the channel, but please remind him that we are all praying for him, and I hope it works out soon. And being uncomfortable has got to be horrible. Say again.
Who's playing in an hour? Who's Jay Dillon talking about?
Jay Dillon, because he's got a Viking for his icon. They play in an hour, so I mean, good luck to him. Good luck, because a lot of the right teams are winning today. All right. Transparency, integrity, and peace gives you the confidence to be better every day. Kelly Tover. Amen. Perfect. Right? You have nothing to hide. Transparency is key. Transparency is key to a lot of things. Communication as well. All those. Integrity, peace. Good on you. All right. Here we go. Nick, we all are. Charlie Kirk. Good on you. Common sense. All right. David Bryant, hold on. Sorry, I have to go. Congestive heart failure is kicking my butt. Love you. Love you, David Bryant. Hang tough, brother, and we'll pray for you as well. Let us know if you need anything, what we can do for you. We'll give you a call after the show.
No, not tonight. Let him go rest.
Oh, yeah, go rest. Go rest. We'll give you a call shortly, David. Hang in there, brother. Get some rest. Relax. Prayers up to you. All right. None your biz. Good way to say it, Nick. I am Charlie Kirk. Old Jerry, common sense says an assassin is not going to disassemble a rifle after the shot and reassemble it in the woods while trying to escape. Amen, old Jerry. So here we go with common sense. And it's kind of been a buzzword a little bit in the media. And Charlie Kirk used to use it quite a bit actually in his stuff because it sure seems like people are missing the common sense part of a lot of things. And is it for clout? Is it for clicks? If they're on YouTube, all the special forces guys are kind of coming to mind because all the drama coming up with that. The housewives, what did somebody call it? What are those housewives shows called? They called it the special forces. Yeah. Of Philly or New York or whatever. It's the housewives of the special operations community is really what it's turned into recently. Is that it? But common sense has to come into play in all that. Like where you can't forget about that. How much education, like we talk about, can you teach initiative? Can you teach common sense? That's another one of those attributes. Do you have it? I think we all have a little bit of everything when we're born, obviously. Then you start growing up and how you're raised by your parents. If you join the military or back up in your schools, the friends you hang out with. And then in the military, do you learn those things? There's leadership traits and principles. Funny, common sense is not one of the leadership principles or traits in the Marine Corps. I don't know if the other service has it as one, but it certainly should be. Because common sense gets lost sometimes in the shuffle of leadership. Do they teach common sense in college or even in high school?
No, but that's what leadership development is about.
No, but that's what leadership development is about. From the producer, straight from her mouth. So in your mentors that you choose, or sometimes you don't get to choose, they choose you as their mentee, you got to go with it, and you have to be able to recognize if someone has common sense or not. Again, you can be the most educated in the world, but have zero common sense. And unfortunately, you hear that a lot with people. Yeah, he's great, he's intelligent, he's smart, and he knows he can read you, this and that, but he doesn't have any common sense. I don't know if he'd survive on the streets by himself. That kind of common sense. Can you take care of yourself? And we've done a great job. The producer has done a great job with our kids. They have common sense along with their intellect. They all did well in school. But common sense is something that it is, if you don't have it, how are you going to know you don't have it? that's kind of the tricky part of it. That's where that ego comes in. That you have to be man enough or woman enough to realize, wow, no, I don't know what I'll do if I get a flat tire on my way traveling across country. And not that you need to know how to change a tire, but if you don't, what are you going to do? That's the kind of common sense that just isn't taught. So the question is, can you teach it? And as a leader, you try to, it's a leadership that you push down. Somebody help me out. The small unit leadership, when you delegate, I'm thinking of a word that the military always uses, but sometimes you have to put people in those situations where it has to come out. Their common sense has to come out. And sometimes it's coupled with good initiative, bad judgment. So at least you have the initiative, you want to do well, and you used your common sense to see that something needs to be done, but it didn't happen. So how do we teach it? Brains win battles, Khalid. But common sense keeps you alive long enough to win the fight. That's a good point right there. I like that. Brains, so the big wigs are making the plans, right? Where are you going? How are you going? The logistics of a fight. But common sense is going to come in when that plan doesn't work out, right? Murphy's Law says the plan never survives the first round down range. Everything, you can rehearse it 1,000 times. What you're going to do, what building you're going to go into, what happens when you come across any kind of enemy contact, troops in contact, something happens, this is what we're going to do. Sounds good, looks good, you rehearsed it, it worked great in rehearsal because no one's shooting at you. You're not getting the actual combat. You can't predict what people are going to do. Common sense wins those battles. All right. Busy, 2 Marines, a whole bunch of Marines in their family. I missed it, but go ahead.
She said, or they said, thank you for your service. I've subbed.
Nice. Appreciate you. Dads, uncles, cousins, son-in-laws, grandson, sons, a whole, that's a family reunion you got to be ready for. Appreciate your service. Thanks for subbing. Big O just said it. Decentralized command. When you're passing your leadership down or your leadership power, decentralized down to a lower level. So do you need common sense? You absolutely right. And that's how you can start it. Appreciate you, Big O. Cheers, brother. Good to see you. Cheers to you right here. And if you want to come over, I'm cooking some steaks later during the pre-flight.
It's getting better, Brian.
Got to tell you, that last tri-tip, I think I got a bad batch on that tri-tip. It was way too tough. And it was from a different, I didn't get it from Costco where we always get, the excuses. Cooked one a couple of days later, beautiful. Cooked some steaks 2 nights ago, better. But I started some today. I prepped some during our pre-flight, and I'm going to cook them babies up. I might share with the family. I don't know. All right. Doc, come on over, brother. I'm telling you, it's we're putting more red meat in our diet. We love chicken, depending on where we are. We're traveling a lot, so it's kind of hard to eat sensible a lot. So anytime we're stationary for a little while, we're gonna hit it and start eating right. Busy. You are surrounded. Busy, ditch. I feel funny just saying that, but good on you. That's a family reunion on the Marine Corps birthday. Whoa, can you imagine that? Semper Fi to all of them. Appreciate you being here. Big O. Tony, I think it was a bad cow or something. Maybe he was an undisciplined cow, had no common sense. It was a cold cow like that. Remember that big old deer I shot? My first deer? Huge. But you got to come back because no, it was the grill. Remember, the grill was brand new too. It was the grill.
Calibrated.
Jeffrey, hoorah, Marines. None of your biz. No. I want to be killing that steak later. Y'all go through it, and we appreciate it. Thanks, Busy. Try fish. So, Frank, we love some fish too. Love some sushi, love some sashimi, love all the fish. I'm telling you, we're moving over to the steak house a little bit. Bob, 420 Network, good to see you. Never be a cheap Marine. Steak options are available. Bob knows he's a cook. Khalid, back to the last things you explained. In same time, how much do you really trust people to use their own common sense in the field? Another Khalid's on it. You're knocking it out of the park tonight. So that's where you find that out in the field. Not everybody loves a field op, especially when you're doing the same thing over and over, Khalid. You're over and over. You're like, man, okay, we did it. We pew pew. We played pretend war, and let's go back. That's where you find out who has the common sense. Do they put in? I don't bash officers, but they got that book smarts. They got big 10-pound brains. They learned it all, and they're ready to put it in action. Field, go back to the field. Go back to the field. Do 3 days and come back. Right? In 2-5, we used to even go over the weekend. It sucked because we were missing our weekend, but we'd go Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then have a couple of days off during the week, which is always cool too to have days off during the week. Whatever, but that's where you learn who has common sense and who doesn't. Who needs more attention and who doesn't. Who is that fire and forget Marine? That fire and forget platoon commander and platoon sergeant team that you can give them a mission, a 5-paragraph order, and go execute, right? And come back, mission accomplished, good after actions report, work out the fine tuning you have to do here and there, and send it back out. Try it again, get it better. Remember, it's going to change though. All right. The Corps has steak and lobster, but it's usually not what you think it is. When they prepare for the cooks, B-Dub, Jinso, when the chow hall does do steak and lobster, you got to remember they're cooking steak and lobster for, I don't know, probably 5,000 people. So they don't get to put that love into it like a good cook probably does. But it's still good. You can't beat it. Tyler, as a Marine, do you question the theory of taking a Malser action? I didn't catch that.
Yeah, read John McJunkins.
Oh, John McJunkin. Here we go. Poolee Blakely asks, how do drill instructors know who has better common sense in boot camp, enough to make a recruit, a scribe, chow runner, or anything else? That's a great question. All right. So how does a drill instructor choose those people? First and foremost, day one, I'm picking the guide, probably the biggest guy, right? Just because the guide he's going to have to take some crap. He's going to try to kind of help you out. Excuse me. And that doesn't always work. The big guys, usually you got to make sure they can drill. And there's other things to the guide. You got to make sure they can drill. Can they speak? Can they sound off? Do they have common sense? And that's just a couple of days of observation. And drill instructors, we have it easy because you're with them. You're with the recruits 24/7. So you're seeing them when they go to bed, when they wake up, when they eat, sleep, drill, PT. You see it all. So it's easier to make a good decision on who can do what. The way you should choose my scribe, I would have them who's got college. Anyone had any amount of college, I used to use that. Come to find out, nowadays, everything's electronic. Because the scribe back in the day had to write a lot of things out, the training schedule, the daily training. So picking a scribe back then is probably different than it's done now. But someone that can read and write English very well. And that definitely takes some common sense. The house mouse, everyone likes, just because the name of it, you want to pick someone small for some reason. Unless someone's going to come in and clean the duty hut. Whiskey locker, pretty good duty. That guy, that recruit has to have common sense because you're dealing with all the supplies for the platoon and the barracks, cleaning supplies, uniform items, extra uniform items. So you need someone mature. You used to get the older guy to be the whiskey locker recruit. A lot of trust is put into the whiskey locker recruit. You have a prac recruit, someone that's going to help the rest of the platoon study. So someone with some G2, someone with some college, I used to believe was smarter than everyone else. Not so much anymore. But I'd pick a college kid or had some college to help the other ones study, the recruits that were struggling in the academic department. Can't think of any other jobs, positions. Guidance squad leader is the top 5. guide, and 4 strong squad leaders. And even you put them in order of your strongest is going to be your first squad leader, second squad leader, third and fourth. Not by size, but I used to try to size them up just because I wanted my platoon to look better. But it's not important. Their height, size, nothing, none of that matters. But it is, to go back to the original question, how do you pick them? You spend enough time with them, and especially the second or third cycle of recruits, you can kind of tell right away. First 24 hours, you're my scribe, you're the whiskey locker, you're the guy, and you guys are squad leaders. Good question. I like that. All right. Life on Two Wheels, Boston, Massachusetts. Semper Fi, brother. Respect. Semper Fi to you. Thanks for being here, and God bless you. Jin Sol, LMAO Randall, or
That was pretty funny.
what did Randall say? Let's hear what Randy said.
Whenever, that one?
Yeah.
Whenever Marine chow hall serves steak and lobster, you have to wonder who the very senior officer is visiting. Then you hope they don't sit next to you while you are trying to eat with each other.
Yeah. Amen to that. If y'all didn't read it. So when the chow hall's doing something special, all of a sudden you show up one morning and they have extra decorations out, right? The eggs to order, right? You got all kinds of extra things out, little mints on the table, fresh fruit. You wonder who's visiting the base. That's the first question is who's, because that's not everyday chow. And if they say steak and lobster tonight, come back this evening for steak and lobster. Yes, you wonder who the VIP is, and pray to God he and his entourage doesn't sit by you. Too funny, Randy. That's good. Gorilla Crew, good to see you. I haven't done more than field stripping and cleaning. Weapons? We talking about weapons, or we're talking about steaks here? We're talking about eating. Adam Goodwin, Embrace the Darkness. Another way to put it. None your biz. I never followed my dad into the military. I knew I was a coward. You boys have my utmost respect for this reason. We're going to talk about courage next, none your biz. So hang out for a minute. I don't think you're as much of a coward as you're not as much of a coward as you may think you are. Gorilla Crew says, I don't remember the time. I live in southeast Alaska where it rains a lot and it don't take it out in the rain. Talking about weapons still. Yeah. Alaska. Did a couple deployments in Alaska during the summer, April, May, June, where it was light, right? 24 hours. It got dark about midnight for maybe a half hour, 1, 2 in the morning, and it was light. And yes, it rained. This is southern Alaska. And it rained. In fact, they said it rained there 364 days out of the year. So you get one day with no rain. Miserable. Working it, though. Working it. All right. All right. McJunkin. Then we're going to hit courage next. Gorilla Crew. No worries. We're going to be here for about another hour, brother. I'm glad you're here. McJunkin. Poolee Jindo asks, had you ever had to demote a recruit from one of those leadership positions for lack of common sense or for other reasons? Yes. A lot. Numerous times, over and over, because recruits are going to make mistakes. That's how they learn. They're going to make mistake after mistake after mistake. And here's the test. Great question, by the way. Here's the test. Whatever they did, there's a billion other recruits that did the same thing, made the same mistake. That's acceptable, that's understandable, and you're going to make mistakes. The test is how you recover from that mistake. And the ones who pout and cry and whine and, oh, this sucks, I got fired as the guide, you ain't never going to get it back. So it's how you recover. Muhammad Ali. You don't lose a fight when you get knocked down. You lose a fight if you don't get back up. So that's the big test. But yes, it happens quite often. Okay, I've been through, in one platoon, I go through about 4 or 5 guides, right? And it depends. Every time is different. 4 or 5, all those positions, you're going to get fired. So life lessons. Something bad like that happens, you got to bounce right back. Share with the crowd, producer, what I miss. They're both giggling over here. Let's hear it.
Someone asked to not be timed out, so I timed him out. The screen name is what got me.
Oh, yeah, if you have a dumb screen name, come on. This is not, read the room. But if you have a stupid screen name, then chances are you're going to be. Both of them just start giggling over here. All right. I can't read that screen name, but our reservist people too? Absolutely. We love our reservists also.
Rabbit Wrangler has a good question.
Rabbit Wrangler, what's your favorite book on leadership? That is a great question. Awesome, awesome question. 2 books I read the most. The Bible, don't forget that one. And that's recent. I learned that the hard way. But definitely the Bible. Leadership, which is full of leadership. The Bible is 100% leadership. A Message to Garcia. Write this down. A Message to Garcia. If you haven't read it, it's about a 15-minute read, depending on how fast you read. 15 minutes. A Message to Garcia, and it's full of, here's how much I loved it. When I checked into the drill field, after I graduated, got my company, battalion and company, showed up in the 1st Sergeant's office. That's what I was told to do. I was in service alphas, smoky on, green belt, ready to thrash some recruits. As soon as I walk in, I actually pounded on the hatch. Sergeant Cece, drill instructor Sergeant Cece, report is ordered. 1st Sergeant says, get in here. I go in, 6 and centered on the desk, report in. He throws a book at me, and it's small, it's thin. I caught it, of course, and put it by. He said, read that. And then he turned and was doing some work, writing. Wasn't paying attention to a thing I was doing, so I opened it up and read a couple lines and kind of skipped through it and a couple more lines, and boom, done. I just stood at the position of attention, waited for him, and he looked, and it was probably about 5 or 6 minutes, and I didn't read the whole thing. I didn't read it because I didn't have time for that. I was a drill instructor. I wanted to be released so I can thrash some recruits. Totally failed that test. That was a test, and I failed it. Because as soon as he turned back around, he said, welcome aboard. He said, what was the book about? And I even forgot I even had a book. I said, what book? He said, failed. Didn't start off on a good foot. He said, what was the book about? I was like, oh, this one, A Message to Garcia. It was about a message to a guy named Garcia. Completely failed the message. He said, read it. Like, I strongly advise you, before I thrash the crap out of you right now as a drill instructor, treat you like a recruit, read the book. So I read it, got a little more out of it, got something out of it this time, and it was really about initiative. And I don't want no spoiler alert, but you should read it because it explains, and it's short. 15 minutes, you can pull it up on your phone. You don't even have to order it and buy the book. Just pull it up on your phone. A Message to Garcia. So I read it and I got it, man. And we even talked about it, and I was like, man, what a mentorship right off the bat. That's how I started the drill field. And it's huge. Again, fell in love with the book and ordered some, actually bought some. And when I got to my first unit after I left the drill field as a platoon sergeant, that's what I would have my squad leaders, right? My team leaders would try to do PMEs on it. And it became a part of my life. A message to Garcia, and it's about, again, initiative. I don't want to spoil the whole book. That's how short it is. I can tell you about the whole book right here, but you have to read it in the details, and the writer explains it very well. So, great question. Nobody's ever asked that. Love it. Tons of books on the Marine Corps reading list, and I've read a few books. I'm not a great reader. I would rather listen to it or do it. But those are definitely some couple good books. Gates of Fire, very interested in. 300, there's a book about 300. Very, very interested in it. Read that a couple times. Sniper. I mean, there's great books. The Commandant's Reading List. About Face is a good one. Army Colonel. Loved Marines. All right. Salute everyone. Mods. Chat, new chat members, Poolees and active, and us veterans and Sergeant Major. Thanks, Anonymous. Appreciate you. 100%. Again, all y'all, thanks for being here. Pellet rifle. Well, look at here. Look at the producer just brought for all of y'all to see.
Jay Dilly said he just downloaded it.
Somebody just downloaded. Here, look how big it is. Jay Dilly just downloaded that. Thank you. Let me know if this is a good spot for it. If you guys can see, I can't see it. Oh, I should do this. While I'm doing that, Abe Lavery asked me, I ask you, sir, would you be proud to serve under President Trump? 1,000%. Our military is going in a great place right now. Kat, why should I join the Marines and not the Army? It's up to you, Kat. But I'll tell you this, it's 100% a personal choice. Talk to soldiers, talk to Marines, as many as you possibly can, then decide. Marine Corps is harder, and that's not bashing on the Army. Love our soldiers. Marine Corps boot camp is harder. Are you talking about enlisting or becoming an officer? Marine Corps life is harder. Marine Corps boot camp is harder. Every MOS is different. Marine infantry, Army infantry, a little bit similar. Just the Marines are all the things you read about. First to fight. We do more with less. It's a different, completely different lifestyle. So in my personal opinion, the camaraderie of a Marine is unexplainable, right? And that's just what the Marine Corps has. But definitely talk to recruiters, for one, on both sides, but talk to Marines and soldiers, as many as you possibly can. Peace, Abe. I guess Abe didn't like that. That means you're whoa? You're in the Army. Army dogs, era. All right. Albert Hubbard, that's right. Make it make sense. Thank you, Busy. When you talk to soldiers, be sure to use small words. Oh, Irene. Yes. Kat, appreciate you. Good night, warriors. Deep rest and relaxation for you. Stephen, thanks for being here, brother, and great conversation. Appreciate you. Acula, I'm not going to try and say your first name, Giuello. Which branch is the most unpopular according to numbers? I don't think it's about popularity. It's about mission. So the Marine Corps is the smallest. And here you want to compare a popular vote. The Marine Corps has never missed their recruiting goals. And prior to the new administration, the Army and Navy were missing theirs consistently, I think, a couple of years. So it's not I don't think it's measured on popularity. It's, do you got what it takes? The Marine Corps is the smallest of all the branches, so, but never have missed our recruiting goals. And shout out to our Marine recruiters holding it down. Anonymous, U.S. Army stands for, you still ain't a real Marine yet. Best in the beat, boot camp. Get after it. Went to boot camp 50 years ago. Bob, please. Platoon 2106. 50 years ago. Look at you, Bob. Hanging tough, brother. Guerrilla crew. Life can be tough in the Marines, but you adapt quickly. God designed an amazing machine when he made us. Amen. Hurrah. We the few, the proud. We the few, governed by the unknowing, have done so much with so little for so long, we can do anything with nothing. Amen. Bryce Wilborg, 103rd thumb. 103rd thumb? Thumb. Topic number 2, ready. John McJunkin, keep me on track. Appreciate you. All right. Second topic for today, courage. Let me read Abe. I thought Abe was going to take off. I'm a pacifist. Salute to all that give their lives, but messing with children, hell no. I respect your position on signing up to the flag. Appreciate that you being honest with that. And that's all for, again, everyone's different. Nobody wants to mess with babies, but defending our country. So appreciate you saying that. Appreciate the transparency. But good on you. Born in the tavern. All right. Randall Knapp, before I hit to courage. Randall Knapp says, the secret about joining the Marines, not the tangible, what you can give me, but the intangible, what we are absolutely brothers and sisters. Nothing is ever given to it. Therefore, everything is earned. Earned, never given. And I think, again, the camaraderie, brotherhood, and sisterhood is unmatched. Special unit, all other services, SEALs and Green Berets, do they have a tight brotherhood? Absolutely. No doubt in my mind whatsoever. And they are bad mama jammas. but the brotherhood and sister, the camaraderie of every single Marine in the entire Marine Corps is unmatched. All right. Courage. More than two kinds, but the main one, you think of courage, and it is a leadership trait, a Marine Corps leadership trait. Courage. Right away you think, Marines, courage, you got to be a bad motor scooter. And it's just expected. There's no, I've, in my lifetime as a Marine and through all my deployments, I had one Marine who refused to go outside the wire. One. I'm sure there's been more. I wasn't with all of them, but I have multiple deployments. I've had a lot that were nervous, scared, terrified, even, but they would still go out and conduct their mission. Took some persuading, took the chaps, took some motivation, but they all did it because at heart they were Marines. This one Marine of my entire life ended up going out months later, and it was a bad situation. Maybe for another time it got physical, right? Because Marines, it was just, we didn't get it. We didn't understand it. You joined the Marine Corps to be a Marine, to fight. Why would you not fight? We even gave him, we tailored his mission a little bit. We kept him back. He would be at the gate. He'd open and close the gate for us to go out, get in a fight, and come back. But it got to a point where every Marine to the fight. So we ain't having someone just sit in the fob for 7 months. Oh, and it got bad. But point being, one Marine out of the hundreds of thousands of Marines that I've served with in combat and out. So courage is definitely physical courage. And I got to, again, Marines have physical courage. It's the mental courage that can come into play every now. I'm going to open it up to some questions here shortly, but mental courage and moral courage kind of go hand in hand as well. This is your everyday life, going to work, being late, the drinking and driving, all the violations of the UCMJ that happens constantly over and over. That's mental and moral courage. When your boys are out drinking and you need to get home, everyone's drunk, do you try to drive back on base, right? When drugs are offered to you, do you take a puff of that because no one will ever know? That's the moral courage. Do you fight against that peer pressure, right? I'm sure just like it happens in high school, in college, it's got to be horrible because there ain't no rules. You don't fall under the UCMJ in college, but believe it or not, it does happen in the Marine Corps, is in the military as well. You're faced with some dilemmas like that where moral courage comes to play, right? War crimes, right? We don't talk about that much, and it's not as common, I think, as I'd like to believe it's not as common now as it was back in, we're talking before pre-World Wars. I'm sure it happened quite a bit. Once there was a system, the war crimes were, I'm drawing a blank right now, tribunals. There's another book I read called Hidden Horrors, and it was completely about, it was World War II, and it was about all the atrocities that happened in World War II, fighting with the Japanese. And that was about the tribunals, that's what it's called, and the heinous war crimes that happened. You don't think it happens as much. We saw early on in the war, the urinating on corpse, and there were some things that did happen. But having the moral courage to stand up to that takes a whole lot more courage than attacking that bunker. That's what Marines have, physical courage. Much easier than mental and moral courage. All right, so Eric S., what's up, brother? Good to see you. Chesty had tons of physical courage, but lacked in other areas of courage. Chesty, historically, there are some stories about Chesty Puller that he lacked a little bit of moral courage as well. I think there's a lot of leaders out there. Old Jaireen says, I believe that comes through training, and more training. Training gets old. I think I did a short on that a long time ago. Again, but good God, you can never train enough. Never. And throwing different scenarios in it. That's what you and your platoon commander, company commander should be doing, is trying to throw a wrench in that plan, right? When they spend 24 hours getting an op order ready and you're briefing it, you got the big sandbox and tanks and little army men, you're drawing to the river and you do prepare, and they brief you. What they're briefing you on is the COA number one, the course of action number one is the best case scenario. So you got to throw in there, say, you know what, we just took away your tanks. Keep briefing. So you got to training. Training never stops. Famaggio, this is my channel. There are many like it, but this one is mine. All right. Thanks for being here. 100%, says Khalid. Bob, be well, my family of Marines. All right. Appreciate you, Bob. Stetson, good to see you. Thanks so much. All right. Eric S., I find that physical courage can be harder than moral courage, but I think I'm in the minority on that, to be honest. So, yeah, back to this courage. Somebody asked about that. See, you want to join, but he was a coward. He just has never maybe been challenged, been discussed, never talked to someone else about it. That's where you find those mentors. That's where you find make yourself a mentee to someone and ask those questions. That's the transparency. You know, I really want to join, but I'm afraid. Just say it. Get it out so someone can say, hey, you know what? I got someone you need to talk to. This person was afraid as well, and look at him now. He's a Marine captain and he's kicking butt. Whatever the situation is, find out. You don't know by talking just to yourself. So that's when you find a good mentor or mentee. Be a good mentee and listen and ask the questions. See if you have that moral, physical, and mental courage and get after it. Old Jareen says he's read much on Chesty. My grandfather served under him. I think if he had a weakness, it may have been not analyzing the objectives and just charging forward. But it was effective. Chesty definitely got it done. All right. Topic number 3, McJunkin, you ready? I don't know if your crew is ready for this one. Sports in the military. And if you're on here, it might have been you, and I can't remember who it was. It was an OG that named all these professional athletes that were Marines, which is amazing because there are football players, baseball players, and I don't remember them all now, but there's tons of professional athletes and actors and performers and that were former Marines. It's nice to every now and then see that list. You're like, oh, wow, really? I didn't know he was a Marine. How great is that? I was talking specifically, though, you go through high school, or nowadays you start sports at like 3. And because your parents want you to be the best. So at 3 years old, they got you out there on pads and thrashing the crap out of you because they want you to be in the NFL. The earlier you start, granted, yes, is better. And then you do it all through middle school, high school, and you're on the you make all state in your high school, in your state, and hockey, whatever it is, whatever your sport is. Then you get to the Marine Corps. Do you have to hang it up for good? Fortunately, no. Now, there are some sports out there that units may not do. You don't have a fencing team in your unit, more than likely, but you do have some common sports: baseball, football, tennis, wrestling. Now, of course, with McMap, jiu-jitsu, very popular. Help me out. What other sports have you seen? Your cross country, track and field. Soccer is a big one. Football and soccer. I don't know which is bigger, but units have them, and then your units within maybe the regiment or nearby units, then you compete against each other. Intramural sports, right? You get a team together. You don't even have to be by unit. It's intramural. You make your own team and you compete. It's fun. Overseas, it's a great pastime. Intramural sports, my kids have done it. We refereed it, right? Powerlifting, bodybuilding is one, just not sanctioned, or it can be. What those sports, joining those sports teams are one, just that's how you spend your off time, right? You and those are things you enjoyed. You don't have to stop it because you're active duty now. Again, you get those Liberty weekends. You give leave and liberty throughout your time off. You got a lot of time off as a military member. So find those sports teams and become pickleball. I'm sure there's tons of pickleball teams now. get after it, train, get some, get special coaching. And it goes from, you have unit teams, you have base teams, and then the all Marine team. So I know we can speak from experience on this in Okinawa. What do they call intramural? Like when those guys competed to be selected for that soccer. What was it? No, intramurals, and then they picked from intramurals to represent. Come on, we refereed them. What was it called? I'll go back to football. So in Camp Pendleton, back in the day, we had a unit team. Unit team would play each other, then there'd be a championship, and then they'd create a base team. And from that base team, they'd create an all-Marine team. That's for all over the entire base, and that team would be able to go. We played some junior colleges. Here's where it gets good, because college recruiters come check it out. They know that when you're disciplined, you're a Marine, you're good at the sport because you made it this high in while being an active duty Marine. So they can pull a few here and there. I played with a Marine that ended up going on to the Denver Broncos. Had another Marine in our unit at one point. She was a cross-country track and field. I think she was a sprinter or something. I don't know what she did. She went on to the Olympics. Boxing. Had a boxer that made it to the Olympics in boxing. All while being an active duty Marine. Now, does your unit work with you? Some units are better than others, I'm sure, with time off. Ours did. I was a young Marine corporal. Sergeant Major said, leave the football players alone. We had 2 days. I was practicing football twice a day as an active duty Marine. In between those practices, after a little rest and relaxation, hydrating, I'd go to work and do our daily routine, whatever it was at work. Priority number one was Marine. You join the Marine Corps to be a Marine. So if all of a sudden you try to leave, say, sorry, Staff Sergeant, I can't go to the field because I have a tennis match, it's not going to go over too well for you. You're a Marine. Number one reason why you join, to be a Marine and serve your country. So as long as you can balance that. And if it will never get in the way of your Marine, I got duty, right? We'd be missing a player from practice or even a game. Like, oh, man, where's Jones? Man, we need him. He's our best linebacker. Where is he? He's got duty because he's also a Lance Corporal in the Marine Corps, and he's on duty. So priorities is you're a Marine first. And as long as you remember that, you won't have any problems. And I'm telling you, it gets pretty tough when you're in it and your team's going, you're moving forward. I remember Engineer Express, we were moving up, base championship, and what do you mean you got duty? This is a championship game. You're a Marine. We had to remind ourselves every now and then that you're a Marine. But make the all-Marine team. What is the travel team called? You're going to think of what Ian made, right? Remember when Ian was trying out, we voted on who we thought should go to that team. We're all drawing a blank right now. All right, here's from John McJunkin Cruz, Cadet Swafford. Swafford from Jarhead? Let me get this. I was told by my recruiter that the only Marines who can play sports are the reservists due to time constraints and workloads of active duty Marines. Not true. So again, I played football, and when our team was good, 1 year, 2 years in a row where our team was pretty good, we had 2-a-day practices. Now, again, with all that, I don't know if it's written somewhere in black and white, and if you've seen it, I've coached intramural teams, and that's the Marines show up when they can. All right, who do we got here today? Okay, and for a while, I was like, a lot of us had to go both ways on the football field because Marines were either on leave, liberty, duty, in the field. So there's times that your Marine priority is first. So can you join the Marine Corps and play football for 20 years? No, clearly not, because again, priority number one is your responsibility as being a Marine. But it's not true. What reservists can do is spend more time in that sport because they work. Reservists work 1 week in a month, 2 weeks a year. So a reservist would have more time. But no, absolutely not. You definitely can play sports. Again, I've examples, personal examples. A good buddy of ours, Ian, When he was active duty, a captain, he was an officer, a Marine captain, played on the intramural unit teams and intramural teams, and then we had competitions called where we selected from, we were the referee crew, and after refereeing every team in the Far East, they had us vote on who we think should make this international team. No, what is it called? I better think of it. If anybody knows it, help me out. Either way, and he was an active duty captain. So I hope that answers your question. All right.
What was the question?
The question was, he heard that the recruiter told him only reservists can play sports. So no,
No, only reserves can do TikTok.
only reservists can do TikTok, she said. She's being funny. All right. Cap McKay, those are not uniforms. Are you talking grooming standards? No, but I always love talking grooming standards. If you have a question about grooming standards, because I think the Marines are very fortunate that I was never in charge of the uniform board.
Marina had a question back there.
Marina had a question.
Lorena
Lorena.
said, does the Marines have as many uniforms as the Army?
So the question is, do the Marines have as many uniforms as the Army? I don't know, but I want to say probably. Army probably does have more. We have different configurations. We got three. We got service uniform, dress uniform, and a working uniform. That's it. Those three categories. Now we can mix and match them so we don't have way too many uniforms. And what the Marines do, we research and research and research. 10 years of research before we got the MARPAT uniform, the Marine Pattern Camouflage Uniform, 10 years. And it hasn't changed in probably 30 years because we don't have a lot of money. The Marine Corps doesn't have a lot of money. We can't be buying new ones. And I know that one time the Army had like 19 different uniforms. Navy got on board and they got camis and camis and camis. Huh.
She really is asking uniformities, not uniforms.
Oh, uniformities. What does that mean?
Does the Marines have as many uniformities as the Army? What does that mean? Like
As many uniformities? As in what?
piercing, personality, makeup.
That is what I was addressing, she said. Oh, no, that's Kat.
No, she said hair, piercings, personality, uniform.
Oh.
You have to be uniform with everyone else.
Oh, uniform, like we're going to be uniform. Everyone's going to look the same. Does the Marines have as much as the Army? No. The Marines have way more uniformity policies than any of the branches of service. And we've even relaxed ours a little too much, if you ask me. The biggest one is the grooming standards. The biggest one is females. We're getting more and more lax. I'm not a female, but I can speak. I have a Marine daughter. And they just recently relaxed the hair standard, the tight bun, because it was pulling back and it was causing some problems. I get that, and I'm all for that. But I've seen some hair by female Marines that just Chesty Puller would roll over in his grave if he saw some of these. I think Marines are taking advantage of it, just like the no shave shit. Male Marines take advantage of that. The low regulation for males, they take advantage of that, and they go 0 to 3 in about an inch. So Marines are much harder. Our tattoo policy, our jewelry policy, or the fingernail colors and length policy, all of those uniformities are much stricter in the Marine Corps. Not strict enough. And maybe, I don't know, this is the sergeant major in me coming out, but I think we need to tighten it up a lot. And I've seen some Marines recently, undergarment, don't get me started on the undergarments. There's not a single reason, somebody changed my mind, why you would not wear an undergarment in the camis or Charlies. Why in the heck would you not wear a white t-shirt under the service Charlies or a green t-shirt under camis? It's optional, which I tried for decades to get that fixed. It should not be optional. It looks dumb. It doesn't make any hygiene sense. Undergarment is purposely for that reason. It's a cool guy factor. And it's not very cool. Who? Shout out to Onsby Rose. I don't see him or her. Okay, Onsby Rose, Semper Fi, Sergeant Major, former Staff Sergeant here. Love your channel. Keep up the great motto. Semper Fi, Onsby. Appreciate you. Thanks for being here. Awesome. Hang out. Keep hanging out with us. Love that you're here. Dan's the man. Do you know what happens to Marines when they retire? The same thing that happens to hobbits when they get old. My precious. I don't know what that means. That was one I read. G.I. Jane changed the standard. I don't know about that either. Says a 20-year-old. All right. You're right. Okay. All right. So that's great question, though, by the way. Again, that's if you don't know, we talk about all this. That primarily why we love to have other service members here, not just Marines. Primarily a Marine channel, obviously biased on Marine Corps. Be the first to admit, total transparency. We love having all the services here. Still waiting on a Space Force Guardian. Please, if you're out there, speak up. Let us know you're here. We'd love to hear from a Guardian of the Space Force. We just want to know more about it. We can Google and we can read, but we want to hear directly from a Space Force Guardian. How cool would that be? So if you're out there, let us know. I think Army is probably the second highest in the channel, then Navy, then Air Force, but love hearing about it. Busy says, Dad was an old Corps, enlisted in 52. He'd have issues with many of the changes since then, I'm sure. Same, Busy. I feel the same way, and I always told myself I'm not going to be one of those old guys. Man, when I was back in my Corps, it's hard not to. And I bite my tongue a lot of times, seeing Marines on base, mustache, out of regs. You can tell, and I pick on the infantry because I spent the latter half of my career with the infantry, and they're the ones with the low bloused boots. Boots look thrashed and like they just got out of the field. Camis, we don't press them anymore, but they can still look squared away. The low gunny rolls, and it has nothing to do with being a gunny. That's old Corps. Gunny roll, the sleeves would be low and all wrinkled in their arm, and their trousers would be. Those aren't facts. That's just something I don't even know when that era was, but the low regulation haircut. And I always get it's in regulations. Yeah, it is, but we're talking about being squared away and motivated. The mustaches that are pushing the limits. Sunglasses, you get crazy with the sun. And I get it, you just want to express your style, leaving liberty. That's when you express all that style. So tighten it up. I think your dad would be pretty upset with today's Marines as well, just for that fact. No more pressing and polishing, Eric S. So much time for other things now. Really, that's it. But it opened up for too many other things like social media and TikTok and all that crap. You see, I'm still pretty motivated. Primarily, it's Army and Navy you see on TikTok making those foolish videos. There are Marines that do it too, just not as many. But you see what happens, how quickly they get hammered. I think first it's just by the other communities and fellow service members, but then legally they get hammered because they do some pretty stupid things on social media. The chicken has finally arisen. That's what you need. You need to change your name to that, chicken. Good to see you. Semper Fi to you. Good to see you. Randall Knapp. Never saw a Marine wear sunglasses in uniform that I can remember. It's every day and all day, Randall. And definitely it's mandatory in combat, right, for eye protection. And you don't see it in formation. I pray to God that that's still a thing, that you don't wear sunglasses in formation. But they're definitely authorized, and that became a big deal in Iraq. I remember it started then for eye protection. We were getting the ballistic glasses. Oakley sent us tons and tons of glasses to try out. But then, again, Marines taking it to the extreme, and they start wearing white Oakleys. That was a big one. God, when that trend was going on. And this was halfway through Afghanistan. To be different, really? White, does that match any of your uniform? Why would you even push that limit? Well, they're ballistic was always the answer. They're ballistic, yeah, but they're also dumb looking. They don't fit your uniform, match your uniform, anything. So inconspicuous, just like with jewelry. Has to be non-eccentric. Glasses, watches, same thing.
Vigilant observer has a great comment.
Let me read yours first. Tolerance levels have changed. Leave. Stupid. Okay. Sorry. Say again. Who? Vigilant observer. I see you right there, Sergeant Major. WMDIs, Women Marine DIs, now called Marine, female Marine DIs, are how involved in male recruit training? Great question, vigilant observer. Anyone recently graduated from the producer, she says, too involved. So there's still they're mixed, I think, in training at AIT when you're sitting in the classrooms.
The last thing anyone needs is a female screaming at them.
So I do agree too much. Love female Marines. I see again, one daughter's a Marine, one daughter's getting ready to be a Marine. So it's not a male-female thing. It's they don't need to be integrated. We don't need to push them in MOSs that they don't want to be in. They should be able to try out for any MOS that they absolutely want. Any MOS. I have no problem with that if that's what they want to try out for. It's when we force them to be integrated. We force them to PT together in boot camp and go to classes together and drill together and be in the same. It's just unnecessary. What was wrong? Was there a problem with 4th Battalion at Parris Island? All females, all female drill instructors, all female recruits. I don't understand why did any of that need to be changed? Talk to the female Marines. Everyone that I've talked to, like, they were sad to see 4th Battalion go away. Just made no sense. Do Marines, male Marines, need to have a female drill instructor yelling at them to make them a better Marine? Is that going to change anything? No, we don't need to integrate just for the sake of saying we're integrated because all the other services do that. Who cares what the other services are doing? Marines are different. Marines are fanatical about being Marines. And if it's not broke, don't fix it. If it doesn't need to be changed or upgraded or adjusted, leave it alone. Is that the question? So how involved are they? Again, it's just they do some unnecessary changes to fit into society. There's never been a problem with the what? That's the called Marine one. Keep me out messing with it for a minute. Old Jerry said, called it WMDI. Starting the chow hall once, most embarrassing ass butt tune I've ever received. So, yeah, I didn't want you to try and do something. I was messing with it. So again, 4th Battalion is gone. Old Gyrene, they're integrated again in the same company, not in the same barracks, but in the same company, and they do things together. More BAMs, and I know it's politically incorrect. I don't. Does BAM mean a woman Marine? I thought it was a bad ass Marine or broad ass Marine. That still means male Marine. Broad? Oh, broad booty. Again, BAM was before my time, but Marines have brought it up throughout. I didn't know that. Never called them BAM. So that's probably all female Marines? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I missed that era. Khalid, grateful for the wisdom shared today, Sergeant Major. Stay safe, take care, and be aggressive. I add that one on there. Thanks for being here, brother 007. Broad-ass Marine. Oh, sorry. Beep. Chicken says, exactly, Sergeant Major. The Marines have been whooping butt since 1775. No need to teach the old dog new tricks. Right? What the problem is. And I told y'all when they were talked about, and they had that big congressional meeting about female Marines in the infantry, finally one of the old commandants, an old general, stopped everybody and said, I may look a little confused, but are we short on infantrymen? Why are we forcing females into the infantry? If they want to go, let them go. If they have what it takes, Let them. Don't change a single standard. If they make it, they make it. Who cares? Best Marine for the job. But he said, am I missing something? Are we short on infantrymen? And of course we weren't. That was just society trying to push them in there so we could say, we have females in the infantry. Who cares who it is? The best infantrymen for the job. All right. Sounding very Gramps right now, Eric. Thank you. Yes, I feel very Gramps. Support battalion. Yep. We're going to hit John McJunkin's question, then I'm going to start landing this helicopter.
Dep Poolee Beakerman.
I'm not touching it. Watch.
Okay. Beguman asks from,
Beakerman.
Beakerman.
Sergeant Major, sir, I recently read a book on the Marines who fought in Guadalcanal, and I couldn't believe how out of regs they were with their hair, shaving, and uniforms.
Talking about Marines way before our time, how out of regs they were. So one, in combat, it happens even today. Are you going to go a few days without, because Marines shave every single day, even on weekends? Yeah, right. Marines shave every day. They have 0 to 3. They have a proper haircut all the time, as much as possible. Even in today's combat, are you going to go a few days, few weeks without a fresh haircut, your mustache? Yes, that's absolutely going to happen today in 2025. Because so you can imagine the 1950s, they weren't out of regs for the 1950s. And they didn't have barbershops. They didn't have clippers. They didn't have all. In fact, if you've never seen field clippers, they look like a something from a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. They look like a torture. It's a like scissors. I'm telling you, it's brutal. So they weren't out of regs as much as it's poor leadership. They're out of regulations. They did what they absolutely could by still with standards from that day, and technology and innovation. So they're doing what they could. Good question though, because it is even hard to look at photos and again the era in me. It's like, man, they took pictures of this guy and he's got a beard. It happens. First and foremost, all those regulations go out the door. You're talking about survivability, right? That's first, 100%. So again, here, I'll tell you a quick story. On a patrol in Afghanistan, I was going with one of my squads, and all of a sudden I see a vehicle drive by and it stopped. A convoy, our friendly convoy. Stopped, turned out to be the MEB commander, MEB sergeant major, so full bird colonel, sergeant major, and their jump crew. And they stopped and were, come to find out once we patrolled up and figured it all out, what the heck is going on, that vehicle's got to go. You know, it was chaos. And it was a sergeant major correcting one of my Marines on his uniform, right? And then he said, oh, by the way, and you need a shave. So as a good first sergeant, I took the butt chewing for having an unshaven Marine in combat. And how I will get his gloves fixed because he cut off his booger finger, which is unnecessary. That's a cool guy thing. Infantry, cut off the finger. Why would you do that? Cut off the finger of the glove. So you have so you can pick your nose. It's unnecessary. Take your glove off, pick your nose. You don't need to cut the fingers off to look cool. The gloves are there to protect you in case of fire or something. So, and again, aye, Sergeant Major, I'll take care of it. And then the discussion with the Marines is, I got your back, don't worry about it. When you can, you'll have a fresh shave. You'll have a fresh haircut. You'll have your sleeves rolled down, your eye pro, ear pro. You'll be 100% when you can. Survivability, safety is number one. So think about those things when you get crazy on the standards. And it's crazy hearing from me because I'm all about standards. Old Gyrene, better trigger control. You're talking about snipers and stuff. I'm talking about on just a patrol where you're walking through the streets and with IEDs and the chances of fire, actual fire. So, yes, and with today's technology, Old Gyrene, there's gloves, fire retardant gloves that doesn't feel like you even have gloves on at all. All right. Doc, you got to go. God bless SFMF family. Stay safe. Love you all. See you guys on Wednesday. God bless you, Doc. Stay safe. Be aggressive. Appreciate you. always, and we'll see you on Wednesday. Brother, take care. We are landing this ship here very, very. Oh. Well, we landed on the ship, and now we're getting out. Now we're going to land the ship into the. Eric says, cutting the finger out of a glove is for better trigger contact, not nose picking. Got you. Guys, this was before the good quality gloves that you have now. Absolutely. But how are you going to pick your nose if you have gloves on? You can buy gloves that don't have the fingers cut off. And again, do you need to cut them all off? Carl Green. Oh, he's saying, see you later to Doc. God bless Doc. Semper Fi brothers, rest in peace. Amen. Chicken. Saving Private Ryan. The sergeant shaved and took a bath at that woman's house. Yes. So when when you're able, when it's safe, do those things that you got to do. Definitely. Only wore gloves in boot camp. Are you?
No, I mean, if you want to go to the top down, it's the stakes are waiting, and I can hit up a couple of shout outs.
The last one, and we're going to talk about the military rack and bunk. Yeah, we're missing a few. Salty, Gunny Rod. Where's Hot Rod? I misses Haro. Lay Cookie. Where's Lay Cookie? Probably working. That gear you see behind me, that's Lay Cookie. ANCmetalworks.com. And I haven't talked about gear in a long time. Merch. We still have merch. SFMF-merch.myshopify.com. 100%. Like and subscribe, everyone. Look at back to the gloves. Old Jaireen. I don't even like gloves when pistol shooting. Maybe I need to up my glove game. Yes, there's some much better gloves. Gloves I'm talking about, they were the leather gloves. Remember with the strap on it, and to keep it warm, you had that wool glove you put on first, and then the big fat leather gloves over it. Yes, cut all them fingers off. Those are worthless. There's some great gloves nowadays. Kaboom says, my son is in Marine boot camp, and we have heard from him. You haven't heard from him in over 2 weeks. Is that normal? Yes, it is. Kaboom. 2 weeks is probably you should any day now. If he wrote probably the third day, or no, because remember they spend about 3 or 4 days just in receiving. So going through all kinds. So he's not writing until about probably day 2 or 3 of training, but which Marine math, that equals about day 7 or 8. And then you figure about another 7 or 8 days for it to send to you. So it is normal. I wouldn't sweat it. He's in good hands. Diesel, I want to hit this up. Diesel says, we allowed low regs in 2000s. If you did a combat deployment, 3-7 weapons, God bless. So I love 7th Marines. Absolutely. And everyone allows low regs. You can, it's still regulation. As long as it's in regulations, it's just low. And that's, again, when you're looking for someone motivated to put up a meritorious corporal board and you have none because you look around and they're all in low regs, who are you going to pick? Right? That high and tight era. So, yeah, low regs is still regulation. Jen Soul, good night, Sergeant Major. Good night, Chesty, wherever you are. Good night, brother. Thanks for being here. Eric S., who are you going to point out? Black leather gloves with green wool inserts, old school, and those were terrible, terrible. John McJunkin, where'd he go? I missed it. Did I miss it?
Maybe.
Oh. Whoa.
I don't know. I'm sorry, I lost it.
Yeah, it's okay. None your biz. Appreciate the wisdom. Make me feel good. Humans are touching our men and how to fight under the Lord's rule, not ours. Amen. None your biz. Absolutely. Kaboom says his wife is freaking out. Oh, about the mail? Kaboom, no, that's normal. Again, and even give him another week. And please don't write to him and say, yeah, you need to write. Hurry up and write. We're crazy. We don't know what's going on back here. Please let him focus on being a recruit. It'll come. It'll come. He'll even get a phone call, at least in week or month 2 or something. Just give him his time. Look at everyone who has a Marine in boot camp right now. Sandbox. It's on marineparent.com. They get it a whole lot quicker, and they can even reply on Sandbox, and you get it a lot quicker. And this was 10 years ago that we used it when USMC Cece was in boot camp. So it is another way. Please copy that down, marineparents.com. Sandbox with 2 X's. It's a great way to communicate with your recruit. All right. Walking 03 found out my grandma, dad, and his brother served in World War II, and he got a letter from the president. Awesome. Amen. And Semper Fi. Guerrilla crew. This challenges the USA Constitution. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your support. Appreciate you. Eric S. And put Go Army stickers all over it. Yes, when you write your Marine in boot camp, you recruit in boot camp, give them some motivation, like Go Army. And are your drill instructor really weak?
Well, he said, send your son a huge care package. His drill instructors will value him more for having caring parents.
If you want your recruit to be thrashed, you'll send him a big care package with a bunch of gee-dunk in there that she doesn't need. So don't send anything. Don't send care packages. Packages. They get in the way. No, DIs don't even want it. It's too much. I don't know. Maybe today's DIs would want a care package. Send it to the drill instructor? You're talking about send it straight to the drill instructor? No, are you kidding me? Drill instructors don't. Keep it simple. You want to send something straight to the drill instructor? Absolutely. But send it to the drill instructor because they don't mess with the recruit's mail. What are you talking about? The recruit, whatever you send, the recruits do open it in front of the drill instructor. Flat mail that it clearly has nothing in it, of course not. I did maybe in the beginning, but after that they toss you the mail. But if it has pictures in it or anything is in that envelope, then they open it right in front of the drill instructor because contraband for obvious reasons. Boxes, yes, we got to check all that. No home baked goods because the drill instructor doesn't know what's in that home baked good, right? Some pot brownies, you know what I'm talking about. So just refrain from sending any of that. They definitely don't need food. They get 3 hots in a cot. They don't need anything. They make PX runs. They get their own cough drops. So send pictures. I would say flat envelopes and pictures. They're not going to be able to enjoy their favorite lemon cake from grandma. They're not going to be able to eat it. Oh, Kelly the OG. No, everyone got bad news. My Bill fractured his knee.
Medical platoon now, not sure what to expect now.
Wow. So sorry to hear that. We'll be praying for his quick recovery. Here's what happens. He gets dropped to MRP, Medical Rehabilitation Platoon. Excuse me. He'll be in MRP until he's healed. So he'll have physical therapy every day. It's still boot camp. He'll be studying his knowledge. He's not going to be thrashed, obviously, because he'll be in a neck brace or a cast. I don't know, whatever they put them in. He'll be on crutches, sticks, we call him. He'll have other recruits to help him. Man, that's too bad. But it's not the end of the world. Again, he's just got to, when you do write him now, tell him do everything the physical therapist says, the drill instructor says. Pray for a quick recovery so he can get put right back into a training platoon. And he will. It's common, right? As much as nobody wants to hear that, it does happen for all different kinds of injuries. So once he heals, he'll get back. So whatever training day he was on, this is week 3 or 4, T-Day 15, when he heals, he'll go back to whatever company is in T-Day 15. So he won't have to repeat much, and he won't miss anything much, if anything at all. Sucks because he's gonna be, all his peers are gonna graduate ahead of him, but who cares? As long as he graduates, as long as he heals and graduates. Okay, you want to read McJunkins?
Yeah. Poolee Portman asks, as a female listening into the Marines, what kind of hygiene, hair, and uniform standards that we're trying
Gonna hygiene to get the same amount of time as the males get to hygiene, so it's not, you're not going to the field for a beauty contest. And there's male Marines that like take a long time as well. So you'll learn how to hygiene in the field. In fact, those are classes that you will learn and take in boot camp as well. So the female drone instructors are going to teach you. And in the field, again, you have to learn what you can take, and you got to carry whatever you take. So that's on you. But you will be instructed in like common sense that we talked about early on. You got to get used to that. And I'll tell you a story about tweezers. Kelly OG says that's what his DI said, that it was very common. Thank goodness I was heartbroken and thought they were going to send him home. That would crush all of us. It would crush us as well. Kelly, the OG, they're going to take care of him. They're going to make sure, again, letters you write to him, tell him that don't skip on any of the PT, physical therapy, not the other PT, physical therapy, and listen and communicate his soreness or injury. Don't make it any worse. In other words, don't try to be tough and hard and get back to training right away. Be patient and heal 100% before he goes back. So here's what you got to take to the field. Whatever you want to do to continue your hygiene and female products and all that stuff, you'll have a field kit for all that. And I remember one time I was looking for a set of tweezers to get a splinter out. This is a field operation. We were out there for about 5 or 6 months, big battalion-sized field operation. I was looking for tweezers. I thought, female Marines, they have tweezers because they pluck their eyebrows and all that. So I did. I asked the female Marine, can I borrow a set of tweezers? I got a splinter. She looked at me and did a double take. She said, look at my eyebrows. Does it look like I have? And she had some bushy eyebrows. Does it look like I have tweezers? So you got to be prepared. You take what you think you'll need after you're out there for a while. Sewing needle. There you go. Thanks. Gorilla Crew, you out? See, love the show, SFMF, but I got to go. Got a deer to strip down and then off to a family's place for dinner. Good on you. Simplify, brother. Enjoy those back straps. Get after it. Thanks for being here. Catch you next time. Uncle Bucky, amen. R.I.P. Charlie Kirk. Eric S., do feminine hygiene products add much weight to the rucksack? I can't imagine it'd be too much, right? Unless you're bringing your whole kit and caboodle and all your makeup and everything else. I don't know. Any female Marines on here? Hunter Gaming. You cut back on the gaming if that's your... Just kidding. Some Marines came to my high school and I have a Simplify sticker on my laptop. PT, close that laptop, do some PT so you can join the Marine Corps. Hugs, Charlie supporters. I'm crying too. Amen. JR Strip, were you a DI or a recruiter? Which one do you think, if I had my choice, which one do you think I would do? Mark Hankins, brother. Sewing needle, great for splinters. Amen. And when in doubt, call the corpsmen. Corpsmen are amazing. Chris, thank you for your service. I'm a squid myself. Simplify shipmate. Thanks for being here, brother. Appreciate your service. Awesome. Love having our fellow service members on here from all branches. So good on you. Thanks for being here. Well, Jaron, I had to see my caniest every night. And by the way, because I didn't know how to sew, what's a caniest? Is that a typo? And every day it came apart. The whole kit and caboodle. Love it. Hunter did 9 pull-ups in 2 sessions. I'm not making it in the Marines. Get after it. You can. You got to put in the work. How bad do you want it? Eric, we don't need no sick bay commandos. I'm not sure. Are you talking about someone specific, Eric S? Somebody, a sick bay commando. Sew my camis, old Irene. Yeah, I told you I'm the sew-son of the family. I do all the sewing here, learning in boot camp and through deployments. Here's a good question right here. It's really you. Is it really you? Allow people to join with the GED. If you're asking me, or in general, are people allowed to join with the GED? No. And sometimes yes. There was times throughout my career that they did open it up to GED GEDs equivalent because of the needs of the service. So, but not always. And right now, in the Marines don't. I think the Army still is. Again, I think it goes with the needs of the service. And don't save that. And don't drop out of school to get your GED to join the military, because they might change. And why not finish high school and get your high school diploma? The Marines did for a short period of time, and I don't think they should as well. There's no reason to finish high school. Commitment. John McJunkin. And I missed the one above that if you want to see that. This is from Cadet O'Connor. I know this may sound disgusting, but what can a Marine do if they get dysentery or diarrhea in the field or in combat? It happens, and you got to make it happen. I mean, you're going to have to do extra to clean extra, and it happens. And Vietnam era, it happened a lot. Happened in Iraq and Afghanistan quite a bit. Every foreign country that we go to, because we don't eat like they do, right? A lot of foreign countries that I've been in personally, and in the field type environment, you're eating with your hands. You don't get to wash your hands a lot. You don't get to wash a lot. So it happens often. And it is disgusting, and you're not going in a bathroom. You're going in a digging a hole or a burn pit or a benjo ditch. Hygiene is tough in the field, and it's gotten better when hand sanitizer and all that came out. But it's going to happen, so you gotta be prepared for it. Try to clean as much as you can, and try to eat as best you can. But especially who it happens to a lot of times is the senior guys, because they're in these meetings, these shuras, and they prepare meals for you, and they're preparing it with their hands. There ain't no, you don't get no who comes and inspects you. They don't come inspect those places when they're feeding you goat heads and foot bread that everything's by hand. So try to stay as clean as possible. Stay hydrated too. Foot bread, I got to tell you, is delicious. No, the Marines call it foot bread. I know, because when they made it, this was Afghanistan. They make the bread in an underground oven, and it's usually sheets, right? They just make tons of them, and they probably sell them for a quarter, but it's delicious. And I know we called it foot bread because when you go, you sit on the ground wherever you eat. And every time we go to a shura or a meeting or the governor's house, and you take your shoes off when you go in, and they have shoes off when they're serving it. And since they serve all your food on the ground, there'd be typically a blanket or even a plastic sheet. So they try to keep it clean. But as they walk around, you're sitting crisscross applesauce, and you have no shoes on. And the servers are walking around because they got to go to everybody and give you the chai and the food, and the bread comes out, and they just got to toss it like a deck of cards, and it's touching everyone's foot.
Wait, are you wearing camis or the man dress?
Camis. I mean, I've worn a man dress before, strapped, of course, with my 9mm. But I've worn a man dress in a shura or some kind of special meeting with the government. But typically, you're still in your camis. They toss that bread out, and you try to catch it before it hits anyone's foot. It's a little inside joke we always had, try to keep it off the floor. But yeah. But I tell you what, didn't matter, because it was much better than MRE bread. And it actually was very, very delicious. Using hand sanitizer on dirty hands feels nasty to me. I to this day, I dislike hand sanitizer, but when it's all you got, it's all you got. Look at Chris. Foot bread was amazing. I'm telling you. Delicious. Right there. Dirty Hawking. You ain't the only one. It's happened. And it's terrible. Joe Waters, thank you for your service. Also, anyone else here had to leave a like and a comment. Thank you, Joe Waters. And if you can subscribe, that'd be great too. Appreciate your support. And I feel your same sentiment. Anyone and everyone that served, family members that have service members in your family, thank you for your service as well. It's not easy. Dirty Hawking. It wasn't cool, but yes, train as you fight. So it happens. Eric S. That's just gross. Lucas, man, my homie is dying on the hill that MREs are made to make you constipated in the field, but everyone else says the chili mac had them spraying out their butt. It's a different diet, so your stomach is going to do some crazy things when you start eating MREs out of nowhere for all 3 meals a day for weeks at a time. Yes. Dirty, you're from Germany. Semper Fi, brother. Thanks for being here. Joe Waters, thanks for subbing, brother. Appreciate you. None of your business. Fist bump for doing it with honesty, just like Charlie Kirk would do. Amen. Business. John Poolees, Shan asked, off topic here, but I missed it. What do you say?
Are recruits giving Christmas or Thanksgiving off? Yes.
Are recruits receiving Christmas or Thanksgiving off? Producer said yes right away. Like,
I meant like graduation, because graduation Thanksgiving week is actually on Wednesday.
so here's how they work it. If it's towards, and don't quote me exactly, but if it's close to graduation, will they bump it back a week? I'm sure maybe up to a week or 3 or 4 days. Thanksgiving week, they graduate on Wednesday, and then Thanksgiving is always on a Thursday. But no, you don't get it off. And I've been a drill instructor for a couple years straight, and no, Christmas was as a green belt, that was my favorite day to give all the recruits a Christmas present of thrashing the crap out of them. Merry Christmas, recruit. As a green belt, or as a senior drill instructor, I try to make it as comfortable as possible. Chow Hall hooks it up on Thanksgiving and Christmas, but no, you don't get it off. You'll recognize it. You'll recognize the Marine Corps birthday, that holiday, that national holiday, definitely. But you don't get it off. No, you don't get a day off in boot camp. How about the other services? Any Army, any other service on here? Do you get those holidays off? And not to be funny, but I bet they do. I bet they probably get a day off for Christmas and for New Year's. Again, other services get phones during boot camp. So that's another difference in the services. Yeah, I'm sure they do. I was in boot camp during Thanksgiving, says Eric S. I don't remember anything special happening that day. And that's sounds legit also. Kelly the OG, here's a good lesson for parents. Don't buy graduation plane tickets or an Airbnb until it's way closer. Lesson learned. Oh, Kelly, I hope you got some refundable by any chance whatsoever, but good on you for being proactive and planning ahead. But just FYI for everyone, FYSA, your situational awareness. Kelly, the OG son's in about week 5 or 6. Medical, got dropped for medical, but not for good. It's just a couple weeks, but that definitely did change his graduation date. So tough luck, but it does happen. So be prepared when you're making Airbnb reservations, hotel reservations, flights. Get refundable stuff the best you can. All right. Here's a good lesson, Kelly the OG. Thanks so much, Kelly, for sharing this as well. Here's a good lesson for parents. I just read that. Don't buy graduation plane tickets or an Airbnb. Yeah, I mean, it happens. Vigilant observer. Get in my pit on Christmas? Absolutely. I became a Catholic and Protestant on that day to avoid the pit. I would wait for you. If I was your drill instructor, you'd definitely get in the pit on Christmas and New Year's and Thanksgiving and Halloween and every holiday I could. As a green belt drill instructor, of course. Jordan Hammond, good evening, friend. It's good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you, Jordan. Thank you, brother. Motivation always high with you. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. And I saw that just right before I got on, I saw you left a comment on the last live as well. Same thing. Good evening, my friend, and good to see you. Chancellor Pearson, were you in the Army? No offense taken, Marines. In German, Army boot camp is finished before Christmas. Every year? That's pretty crazy. Again, as a drill instructor, it just been Christmas Day with recruits. None of your business. I feel more brave now just hearing your words. Thanks, SF at SFMF. Thanks, Nanya. Appreciate you. That's why we're here. Hi from Brazil. Look at that. We got Brazil in the house too. Ricardo Palma. Thanks for being here, Brazil. Appreciate you. And the new clans starts in January. All right. A message from Garcia. The book is a message to Garcia, but we just received a message from Garcia. All right. Press play. I'm out of the Marines for 3 years. Can't find work, PTSD, thinking about. So here's what we do with that. Press play. Get in contact with us after the show. There's plenty of people, organizations, friends, Marines that are ready to talk. So get after it, right? Get in touch with us after the show. Go to the description. You can shoot us an email, and we'll definitely help you out. Young Marine John McJungan says, from Young Marine work from, being the youngest in my unit, how long will it be before I earn higher ranks? Every unit is different, so I can't speak from your leadership, but age, in my opinion, age and time in has nothing to do with it. Nothing has anything to do with it except your ability. Right? We're on a merit-based system. That's how I work. I don't care. I should tell recruits. I don't care what grade you're in, how old you are, what your gender is. None of that matters. We promote on performance. So hopefully your unit does that as well. And that's how we see. That's how life should be. Right there, that last message. Please reach out to sfmf.com at gmail.com. Reach out. We're all here for you. They comment earlier that just got out and not feeling it right now. Press play. Suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. Press play. Again, and you're not alone. Look at all the comments. You're not alone. You're not alone. We're going to get in touch right after this. Press play right here from Mark Hankins. Sergeant Major Cece and family are a serious family. Please contact them. Yep. I'm telling you, just Wednesday I was talking about, I'd rather listen to your story than read your obituary. So let's talk. Jordan Hammond says, what was one of your favorite things about the Marine Corps and what do you miss about it? The camaraderie, 100%. And I've learned more and more how to answer that because of this channel right here and the camaraderie that we have with the amazing SFMF-ers out there. You guys are awesome. You guys are amazing. And the camaraderie is undescribable. Right? It really is. I know I say a lot and I probably talk too much about it, but it is that deep and that permanent. Press play, right? And facts right there that everyone is here for each other. Other services have it. I'm positive they do, but the brotherhood in the Marine Corps is simply amazing. I miss the clowns. I don't miss the circus, but I miss the clowns. Cassidy O'Signs. Press play. Talking to press play. No soldier left behind. Amen. Amen and amen. We got you. I'll put you on our prayer list. Absolutely, Jake. Rolling Lightning. What's the main difference between the new USMC M27 and the M16A2 service rifles? Great question. We need to hear from active duty Marines right here, right now on those two. I love the M4. It's my favorite long rifle because it's shorter than the long rifle. This is my main reason. Randall Knapp, appreciate you, brother. I'm telling you, press play, read the comments. We're all here for you. Thanks, Randall Knapp, for being there for him. There's always hope from the producer. I like that. God bless the USS Iwo Jima and Iwo Jima in general. Press play. Thoughts to you from a German comrade. Press play. Look at this place, man. It's truly amazing. We're here from you, from Germany, from the U.S., everyone on this channel. It gets much better, right? Young Marine Kellerman asks, My first month in the Young Marines, I enjoy it. Even my first mud run. Everyone loves a good mud run. Get after it. Awesome. Look at old Gyrene. Help is available. Press play. We got you. I'm praying for press play right now, says Jordan. Man, you guys are amazing. Truly amazing. Eric S., based on the Department of Defense's annual report on S in the military for calendar year 2023, the Marine Corps had the highest active duty rate among unaliving yourself. I don't think we can say that S word on YouTube. That's unsat. We can't have that. 22. It was 22 a day for the longest time. I pray that it's not still 22, but one is too many. So press play. We're going to talk right here from Carl Green and Eric S. Call or text 988 if you're in a crisis. 988. And I mean, when in doubt, 911, it can point you in the right direction, but 988, that's probably quicker. Another one, old Gyrene, 988, and then press 1. Don't do it. It's not worth it. It's run through all of our minds before, and you can tell right away who it has, and it's not a secret. It's nothing to be ashamed of. And here's... they used to be followed by a stigma of you're weak if you think that stuff. And I tell you, first and foremost, and from experience, you're a coward if you don't say something. So have some courage, have some moral and mental courage, and talk about it. We got to be open about it. You got this. All right, everyone. Great show. We hit all of our topics. We talked about church today was amazing. Prayers up to all of you, to the Kirk family. We've talked about that. Continue to push. Continue to press. Are you gonna? First step is saying something, and that's what you just did. Delta Oscar Delta. That's it. Appreciate that. Kelly, the OG, is here for you too, buddy. Come on, man. Really? This is amazing. A man has courage. Stay blessed and God bless. The comments are coming too quick, but cheers to everyone. Randall Knapp. Yeah. Another great stream. Many of us respect. We're all family here. Semper Fi gentlemen. Have a great night. Much love from LL Pool J. I need you. Are you ready? Appreciate y'all. We'll see you on Wednesday. I'm going to go cook up them steaks. Good night. God bless you all. Semper Fi. Be safe.